You're poor. I get it. I mean, you are poor. You had $5 to your name, and like any sane person, you used it to buy a hamster. You got that hamster to work for you. He runs on a wheel all day. It's something, but it's not enough. It doesn't generate enough income for you, and you don't have enough money to buy a PC. You disgust me. Let's talk about it. I hear you saying, this PC stuff is really expensive. I don't want to spend $1,000. I don't want to spend $700. I can't even spend $500 on a PC. Well, I got you today. I have built a PC for $200. And this PC can game, even in modern games. While I'm not very well in modern games, but in older games, it kind of rips and it kind of tears. Our total price came out to $202 for this PC. So I am lying a little bit, 1% over budget, $2 over budget, whatever. But I bought an Optiplex, the Optiplex 3050 to be exact. It has a i5 7500, that's 4 cores and 4 threads CPU. Got it for 83 bucks, and it came with the motherboard, CPU, and chassis, and the CPU cooler. 4 cores and 4 threads, and it's just Kaby Lake goodness. And then next, this is the star of the show. I got a GTX 1650. I got that GTX 1650 for $50 locally. You're gonna have to search for deals for this PC, but it can be done. I've gotten GTX 1650s for $50. Probably like 4 or 5 times by now I bought that same GPU locally for $50 and done Optiplexes like this. It can be done, guys. You're just gonna have to be patient. And honestly, this GPU is not worth any more than $50, so don't try to spend like $150 or something like that on this GPU. It's not worth it. And next, I had to get a SATA to 6-pin connector. Obviously, you're gonna need that because this Optiplex doesn't even have any PCIe power, it just has SATA. So yeah, I got a SATA connector to 6-pin. That was $3, okay? And then, you know, we're gonna need some RAM to feed the beast. I'm not going single channel and nerfing my performance here. I got 2 8GB sticks of DDR4 2400, which is the native default speed for this motherboard. And yeah, it was just 18 bucks, so not bad. Then I didn't want to cheap out on storage. Guys, when you're getting this gaming PC, you're gonna have enough storage to get all the games that it can actually run. So I got a 1 terabyte NVMe Gen 3 Silicon Power SSD, and that was only 48 bucks for that 1 terabyte. Yes, this motherboard does take NVMe SSDs. And that brings us to our total of $202 for this gaming PC. So how does it fare? How does it stack up? When I played Apex Legends in this game, in some scenes I did max out my monitor's refresh rate, 1080p, 144 hertz at 1080p low, but man, it was a stuttery mess. So in certain games, this is not gonna work. The CPU power is just not there. You know, modern competitive games, this may struggle a bit. Games like Apex and games like Fortnite, it can run them, but it's gonna stutter a lot. So something to keep in mind there, but hey, you're paying $200, you need to sit down and be happy, okay? The next game I tested was Bioshock Infinite. And this game came out in 2013, but man, it does not look like it. It looks like an amazing game. You love to see it. I'm maxing out the monitor's refresh rate in this game. It's great. It's great to see. It's beautiful, and it makes you wonder, like, man, what happened to game optimization where this $200 piece of crap can run a game like this flawlessly, 144 hertz. And I'm pretty sure I had maxed the settings out. At least they're like on medium or max. This is not like super rigorous testing or anything like that. I just loaded up the games and I set them to, you know, usually I think Apex to low and everything else to high, and it worked great. Doom 2016, for my fellow Doom enthusiasts, I can confirm on this $200 PC rig, this game runs like a dream. During, you know, non-combat zones, we're maxing out the monitor's refresh rate, and during combat, we're getting around 100 FPS, which is still really good, and it's not dipping a lot, guys. The frame rate is pretty consistent. It feels nice to play. So, I mean, what else do you really need? $200. Some of these old games are actually better than the new ones coming out. So, yeah, thumbs up to that. The last game that I played was Prey. And if you haven't played Prey, you really need to. It's an amazing game. It has a bit of a slow start, but it's just world building And once you get into it, you're into it, and it's really great. For the most part, I'm doing pretty well, like in non-combat zones, maxing the monitor out. In combat zones around 110 FPS, and there's not a lot of dips. There's only some dips when I load new areas in, and it's just for a split second. It's not really during combat. So Prey felt really nice to play. I think I'm playing at 1080p max settings here, and for $200, you can't really do better than that. If you guys are wondering, the 1650, this GPU is actually going to be probably about 20% slower, or maybe a little bit more than the Xbox Series S. But you're only paying $200 and you're getting all the PC features, all the PC games, your Steam library. So honestly guys, this is a wombo combo that cannot be ignored. I know I came out with a lot of stuff like don't buy gimped hardware, and you gotta buy a PC you're proud of. But if you only have $200 and you want to get into the space, if you want to get into the scene, you really can't go wrong with this. You get screwed over when you spend way more money than the thing is worth. And this for $200 is actually totally worth that. Honestly, for even $350 is a good deal. And that's what I'm gonna sell this rig for on my Facebook Marketplace profile. For those people in the comment section saying that I'm wrong, that old games were just as hard to run on older hardware and they didn't look as nearly as good as we remember, take a look at these games, take a look at the performance, and look at the modest hardware and be amazed of how this performs. I mean, guys, the industry is going in the wrong direction with performance metrics, and I just don't like to see it, guys. I do not like to see it at all. You may have like a 4090 in your rig, but if you want to find stuff like this, pick it up, build it, tinker a little bit, and then flip it, this is a really good chance to do stuff like that. People will be buying PCs like this for around $350 with these specs. I mean, they look at it, wow, a 1 terabyte SSD, dual channel, 16 gigs of RAM, and the CPU and the GPU are actually a really good pairing. So it feels like a very well-rounded system for how cheap it is. It's pretty good. And with something like this, you would actually be able to stream. It has, Turing media encoders, and it wouldn't be actually bad. It wouldn't be a horrible streaming setup. The only limiting factor would be those 4 cores that and 4 threads that are definitely one of the aging components of this system. But yeah, guys, just a quick video for you here today. Silicon Steak is on the up and up. I'm glad to see you guys commenting more and more. I know this video won't be for a lot of my just general audience, but hopefully for some of you value shoppers and some of you deal hunters, you would like this to see stuff like this. So what do you think? Is this $200 PC e-waste? Should I throw it in the garbage? Should I not even sell it?
Ever review every spec, he's on deck. From GPUs to CPUs, he knows it all. No question too big, no detail too small. He's got the knowledge, he's got the skill. When he drops his take, the haters stand still. Fanboys can cry, but they can't deny. Silicon Steak's truth cuts through the